All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 28 of the Behind the Stripes podcast. I'm Rama, Peroo, normally joined by Coach Dave Burroughs. Unfortunately, Coach wasn't able to join us today, but he'll be back next time. And we've got a great guest with us today. Today's guest is the Cowley College Director of Campus Security and Public Safety, Matt Stone. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we're excited to learn a little bit more about you today. Something we always do when we start this is just tell us a little bit about life growing up. Where were you born and raised, Matt?
I am born and raised here in Ark City.
Okay.
So I'm a Cowley lifer. I was born, reared, and lived in the city, in town for a while, moved to the country. But I have been here all my life. So.
Gotcha. Any time that you ever ventured out of Ark City and lived anywhere else, or has it been?
Well, I live in Winfield now.
Okay,
I've lived up there more of my life than I lived in Ark City, more years
Cowley
now.
County area, though,
Yes,
your whole life.
I'm a Cowley County lifer for sure. So
Terrific.
I like visiting other places, but this is home. So
How about brothers, sisters?
Yep, I've got one. I'm the oldest boy, I guess. I've got one older sister. I've got a younger sister and a younger brother as well. So we're from, my older sister, she's 6 years older to me, and then I've got a younger brother that is 17 years younger than me. So
Wow, yeah.
there's a spread on us between the four.
I've got that with my sisters, too. Pretty good age gap, about a 15-year gap with one of them. And when you were growing up, though, what were some of the things you were involved in as a young child, or whenever you were going up through the ranks? What kind of were some things that you were involved in school?
Sports was always something that I enjoyed. Not necessarily in school early, through the rec and stuff, but I did a lot of sports, and of course, living in the country, I lived outside. We had the four-wheelers and little toys like that we played with. But archery was my main thing. I started shooting bow and arrow when I was 7 years old, and tournaments every weekend. That's what I lived for. If I wasn't throughout the week playing sports, I was shooting on the weekends for sure. So
How did that kind of develop? I haven't really talked to a lot of people that were, especially at such a young age, getting into a sport like that.
Yeah, my family was into it. At one time, my mother, my sister, my dad, we all shot competitively. And it was just something that my dad and his brother was heavy into, and we hunt and fish as well. I do a lot of that. We did that growing up, but the archery was, I say hunted. We were always archery hunting. Not so much. We use guns. For different types of hunts. Right. Birds and different things, but primarily just it's kind of a family thing, and so we did the outdoor, they call them outdoor 3D tournaments. They still happen, not so much locally here. You got to go to Wichita and some of those places, a little further to get in them now. But we used to have a Ark Valley Archers. We had a club that was local, and so in the wintertime we would shoot indoors. We had an indoor shoot, kind of like
Very cool.
kind of like bowling in a sense. There was a bunch of lanes and everybody shot, and but then out the springtime became the outdoor season. So we had like the 3D actual looking animals that'd be a string through the woods, and you just follow the string, and you had to find your animal, find your target, and guess your yardage and all that kind of stuff. It was just something that we did every weekend. So
Well, you mentioned tournaments. Did you have some success in some of those tournaments too? Huh?
Oh yeah. That's to date. That's still my biggest trophy collection I've got is all of my archery stuff from when I was young up through my, late teenage years, clear through high school. I shot archery competitively. So
Do you still, do some hunting and do archery?
yeah,
then?
I'm still into the bow hunting, and my sons, my daughter, my daughter was 7 when she shot her first deer with a bow as well.
Yeah.
So, it's still a family thing that we do.
That's great. We were down at Table Rock Lake in June and saw a boat go by, and a guy had his,
Bow fishing.
Bow fishing. Have you ever done any bow fishing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, it's different, but it's a fun, unique experience, and water changes things.
Imagine
shot
it.
placement and that kind of stuff. But no, it's fun. I don't have the equipment currently, now that I do it, but yeah, I've done my share of it.
Gotcha. So Ark City High School grad then, or
Ark City High School. I'm a Bulldog. I graduated here and worked with some folks even that I graduated with. So
Awesome.
it's nice seeing the hometown.
Mm-hmm. Did you go straight into the workforce after high school, or did you go to school?
After high school, I come to Cowley.
Mhm.
I didn't finish my first stint. I mean, as far as Cowley, I got into the workforce, you know, as far as that while I was going to Cowley, and it kind of took over. And so I entered the workforce, and it was 11 years later when I come back to work. When I come back to work for Cowley, that I finished I had a semester left, you know, to finish out at Cowley.
But you did finish it up when you came back to Cali, then?
Yes.
Terrific.
I did finish it up, and then went on to Friends after that. So
Great. Well, as far as in between that gap of 11 years, what were some of the jobs you held maybe during that time?
back then I was in sales.
Okay.
I mean, I did a lot of retail sales, and I was a car salesman for 3 years of that, roughly, or so. And so yeah, I did. That was the bulk of it. I mean, that I did was just sales and all customer service orientated stuff. You know, and so that was good. I mean, it's still beneficial. I still use a lot of that training and stuff. You know, I mean, the skills that I acquired then, even in the world that I live in now. But yeah, it was first law enforcement job I applied for, as a road deputy position with Sheriff's Department. There were 84 applicants for one road position.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
I knew at that time I didn't have a lot to offer per se, because I had taken some criminal justice classes while I was here at Cowley. It wasn't my major by any means. So I didn't really have formal training. I didn't have any experience. I was going in. So I knew I was but I did make it to the Final Four, which I thought was a good feat in and of itself. But I went to Oklahoma and got cleat certified, and I started working in Oklahoma, and I ended up working at the casino, one of the casinos, and climbed the ranks there pretty quickly. Made supervisor role there, and back then we didn't have all the casinos that we had. It was just the one there at Newkirk, and we were a bigger. The security department there was actually a bigger force than like Ponca City PD at that time. I had 28 officers just on my shift. I mean, just for the shift that I worked, and we were a big entity, as far as that. So, well over 100 officers. We had 5 shifts. So
Probably learned a lot during that time when you were there. Then, huh?
It was good. It was fun. I mean, different exposure to different things, and seeing a lot of things, and of course, I was a lot younger. Doing those things now would be a little more challenging for me, but it was definitely fun. A lot of growing, a lot of exposure to different things, and my director, the chief that we had there, was actually working here at Cowley as well. He was the security department here at Cowley was really non-existent. I mean, he was like the only person that they had working in security at that time. He was labeled as the director. I mean, he was the director, he was the officer, he was the everything,
He was it. Right.
But he was a director here. He was also the chief there. And he had, I don't know, he said he saw something in me. I mean, like, just recognized some potential there. And even working for him there, like, he'd kind of taken me under his wing, like he was putting himself into me, for future development. And when the opportunity here at Cowley, that they wanted to add another officer to the mix, then, I mean, I was the person that he come to.
How long ago was that, Matt, that you started here?
That was 2006.
Okay, so this is year 20 for you.
This is year 20, yes, sir. And he recruited me for it, and I interviewed him, of course, got the position, and it's all from there. I mean,
do you remember some of the people that were on that original hiring committee?
Yeah, I do remember. Of course, Eddie Santiago was the director then, and so he was there. We had Janice Nagel was our HR director at that time. Sue Saya was student affairs, VP, and student affairs, and so she was on the committee. And I want to say it was Robert Wood. We had one of our dorm managers, Robert Wood, that was over in Docking there. Track coach. So I want to say it was him as well, representative from. It was a fairly small committee, back then, but we met and did the interview, and here I am today. So
Terrific. What kind of sparked your interest in something like that about wanting to get into that field of public safety?
again, just I really kind of just a desire to help people. I mean, I like helping others. It's something that, you know, my goal is to help somebody every day. And it gives you something positive to take away from every day. Kind of the do the good deed thing. And so I strive for that. But that was my whole thought process as far as why I wanted to get into, to the law enforcement or, world per se and start that work. And so, yeah, I mean, that's still what motivates me today. I mean,
Is that kind of what you enjoy most about your job is being able to help people then?
yeah, I mean, it's, being there, for others and, people don't just call us because they want something typically, you know what I mean? Like there's a need that we get to fill. And, that's satisfaction on our part, you know what I mean? That you're just able to help somebody. So,
I don't want to say too much and let people start calling your number all the time when this happens, but you've helped me with dead batteries, with flat tires, with anything, so so many things that people don't realize all the things you do. When they hear public safety, they think you're there just to kind of, help prevent any kind of crime or, things going on, but so many other things. I mean, see painting lines, doing things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, helping me, like I say, with a flat tire or with a dead battery or a window that I've got my keys locked in the car, things like that. You do so many different things to help people all the time.
The umbrella of public safety is a big umbrella,
It is.
and so we're not just campus security, that which we were at one point. I mean, that's really what we did. I mean, when I started, like we wasn't really a department per se. We were campus security. We had 2 officers that worked 2 shifts, per day. We didn't have 24/7 coverage. Our job was to lock, unlock doors. I mean, people call. I mean, like it was real routine. It wasn't. We didn't do all of the services, provide near the services that we are today. But we have evolved. I mean, the department has grown over the years, and so we have got to the point that we are 24/7. There's a lot of things that we offer now service-wise like that. A lot of that is just things that we have implemented over the years, so that we can better serve, the campus community, the unlocking vehicles. I mean, unlocking doors is a daily, the unlocking vehicles is a very routine, thing that we get to practice here. I always tell people we're not automotive. I'm not a mechanic by any means, but unlocking doors and jumping dead batteries. We we have the tools to assist, air compressors and things. Whether it's a low tire, we have things that we can help, change a tire if need be. I mean, if it's not airable, won't hold air. So we have those things. We've got a ton. I mean, we are animal control here on campus. I got a call, I don't know, 2 months ago. We had a snake in front of the water tech right at the entrance, Great. And we were in the process of that move, with the office. And so I was like, I couldn't find my grabbers. I mean, like our tong type, and I'm like, oh no. So I just had to put some gloves on and
you just wrangled them?
yeah, I grabbed the snake, and carried it back down the canal and tossed it back in. But
Has other duties assigned, huh?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
always something.
The foxes and the cats and skunks. I mean, like I couldn't tell you how many of those that we've, caught removed off campus. I mean, there's a lot of those things that are just
Yeah.
that we.
People like myself wouldn't know all those things that you do behind the scenes.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. Of course, prevention is a big part of it, and so, being proactive and offering training, and trying to stay ahead on, policies, procedures, keeping all of those things up to date, and national things emerge, new trends, new rules, new laws, regulations, and so we have a lot of that we have to manage. And, the technology world is just advancing so much every day, it seems, but, we've got we're responsible for the security camera system as well, which is a huge undertaking in and of itself. I mean, for especially the size of the system that we have. And, we monitor the cameras for all the campus locations, we have, all of our mass notification systems that we have implemented that we have to keep working, keep getting people to subscribe to, those kind of like our Live Safe and the Blackboard Connect. the Alertus integration that we did a few years back now has been a big proponent of that, and kind of helped us tie all of those systems together. So I don't have to trigger this one and then trigger that one, and then, like multiple steps to send out something. So that's been a huge advancement for us in that arena.
Sure.
Access control, we've got some access control in place now. And so we've actually had for a number of years. Most people don't realize that we have access control, but we do. It's just very limited at this point, So, but advancing those things forward is definitely a the technology piece of it. There's so many things that come into play for us. I mean, and us having to use learn those systems, those softwares, and interface with them, and it's a digital world now that we live in, right? And so,
Sure.
Our everything from a daily log that we do, we used to pen and paper, we would complete one, and so now everything is done digital, and so it's just there's been a lot of evolution over the years, which is great.
How many people do you have in your department then, Matt?
So currently I have 6 full-time, including myself, and we have two part-time employees as well. So been grateful enough the last few years that we've kind of partnered with our criminal justice program, and so we have 2, they are students as well, criminal justice students, and usually sophomore, like second-year students in the CJ program. Almost all of them have been like brass, like hold a supervisor role within the CJ program, sergeant, lieutenant status. And then we are able to, been able to put them to work to fulfill some of the duties that we just really don't have the resources for otherwise, so get them working in a part-time capacity, and it's a double win. It gives them some more, working experience,
good for both sides.
Yeah. And it's a win for us and the CJ program. So
I'd be remiss if we don't say something. Frank Owens, the head of the criminal justice department, unfortunately was in a pretty bad accident here a few weeks ago, and so our thoughts are definitely.
July 14th was actually his anniversary as well.
Oh,
so
my goodness!
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard much from Frank and how he's doing, but I know he's on the mend at least. So
he's got a long road of recovery ahead of him. I just talked to his wife Thursday or Friday. We spent some time on the phone, and she's been keeping me updated pretty regularly.
Good.
But he's not out of the woods just yet. There's still some medical concerns there that. Frank's he was ready to go back to work last week. I mean,
I bet he was.
He wants out of there, he just, his mind is in one place, and his body's in another yet. So, still prayers are needed,
Got it.
So
we're definitely thinking about him for sure.
Yeah.
With your small group in your department, it's pretty much like you're a doctor. I bet you're pretty much 24/7 on call, aren't you? I mean, it's nice that you have some other people you can rely on some of those things, but you probably are almost, getting calls at all hours, aren't you?
I am definitely on call 24/7.
I can imagine.
Most people would probably be surprised if they knew how many people had my cell phone number listed as like campus security. When they try to call, and so it is not uncommon at all to have a call at 8 o'clock at night. Somebody needs access or needs me to unlock something, and well, let me call the 5599 number. For I do have somebody on campus that is working, and so our office number. The way they have the phone system programmed for us, when you call the office number, when I start my shift, I do a sequence on the phone that it transfers the phone to my cell phone. So when I'm working, you call the 5599 number and it calls my cell phone.
Okay.
And it does that, regardless of what day or what shift it is. 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the morning, you're going to get whoever is working at that moment by calling the 5599. But people get my number programmed in as that, and so Saturday morning at 6 o'clock, they're either you call 5999 or I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like it's
right.
But yeah, so and it's not always just other people calling. Sometimes obviously like being the director when there's something significant, obviously you get called back or things like that, and come in and work some of the additional events, when we need additional coverages and stuff like that, or special days per se, dorm storm graduation. Those are obviously 2 of the biggest days here at the college. And so You'll see me here in addition to my officers, whoever's working that shift. But
Well, I don't want to put more on you to have people know where you're located at and stuff, but probably would be good to let people know about the change that's going on here. You just had a recent office change from where the public safety here at Cowley College is located at. You want to let people know where you moved to?
Our number's still the same. The security at Cowley email, all of that stuff is still working, but our signage is still in front of the old office. So visually, people still, I still have people go to there, and they notice that it doesn't really look like our office anymore. And they'll call, wonder, what's going on. And so, I've had vendors, I've had all kinds of folks, even over the summer here already that have done that. But actually this morning, the first group of students that, because we do have some on campus. And so the first group of students found my office this morning, which that was great,
good.
but, so we have just moved across the street, across 3rd Street. We are now in the Curtech building is where our office is. We're in the west end of Curtech down there. It's room 111, but it's down that east-west hallway there, through the graphic design,
and art department areas.
Department. We're right there in the midst of that now. And so, yeah, we're really just getting settled in, getting things set up kind of the way we want it to be, office-wise. And so, yeah, it's got a good look, new feel to it, and the only two things that I request of our office space period is visibility and accessibility. The only two things that I ask for. I don't really care where we're at on campus, but those two things, I just feel that our office, we need to be visible so people know, where to get to and be accessible so that they can get to us,
For sure.
And so,
I hope that's a good move for your department down there. Yeah. Chris Ripley and I are familiar with that area. We had offices back there.
And I'm talking to Chris because I know he kind of started down there, and I started different, but I'm in that space now, and so I come out when I step out of my office, I can see his old office. It's the end of the hallway there. So.
Well, if you see old Mark Flickinger over there, that'll be good. He's a good guy.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mark back around more. Dykes has been coming in a little bit here, working, getting some of the stuff done, and
good.
They had a lot of stuff in storage in that room where our office is currently located, and so there's still a lot of things that are because that stuff just got moved out into the hallway, that long hallway there, and so. They've got some things to get shuffled around, when they get back. But,
well, they'll be here before we know it. School's starting.
We'll be there to help if need be, I guess, right? So we're neighbors now, So
that's right.
Share the block.
Got to tell you, congratulations on this. You were the recipient of the Tiger Heart Award in 2024. Great honor. Can you tell me, whenever you heard your name, what was that like, and what does that award mean to you?
Yeah, it was quite the surprise, to be honest with you. I don't, we don't do this job for the accolades per se, you know what I mean? Like you just don't, so it was quite a shock. I mean, when my name was announced for that, and the person that award is like employee to employee, essentially, like you're not selected, nominated. I mean, you're selected by an individual, and so it was quite shocking. Chris Apsher is the one that handed it off, to me. And, I've always viewed that award. I mean, it's been around for a number of years, obviously, and, everybody that was on that list, prior to, and even those that have been on the list since then, it's a great list of people.
Good company to be a part of, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you look at, and don't get me wrong, Cowley has a number. I mean, there are great people at Cowley, there are great people at Cowley or have been at Cowley that aren't on the list even, I mean, like not everybody unfortunately can be, but it's like, it's great company, so on and off the list, here at Cowley. So there's just a lot of great people. I've met a lot of great people here. I work with a lot of great people, and, that's one of the biggest blessings. So,
Well, and I got to ask you, your department, I mean, we talked about it's just a small group of 6, but, you guys all do so much. You care to mention them by name or say a little bit about what they mean to you? And
absolutely, because I obviously can't do what we do as a whole, as a unit, and I've lived by that motto, that I'm only as good as my team, you know what I mean? So whether I'm, because I'm on the sports world, I coach a lot of things, at like the youth level, and so if people view me as a good coach, it's only because, me and that team had, we had the collective, that cohesion that it requires to
Takes everyone.
be great, and so I've had, I've had a lot of great officers over the years. I mean, that have worked with me. I have had the opportunity that I've had a few that have retired out, of the department. But I've had some good ones. Excuse me. But I think collectively, the team that we have built right now, that I've realized I've been blessed with, because I have a great group of guys.
Wonderful.
My assistant, the coordinator, Brett Stone, he, maybe not as familiar face for people here on the main campus because he doesn't work here day in and day out. He serves the Sumner campus and the northern locations. He's a true asset to the college. I know collectively there are 4 of us out of the 6 full time. There are 4 of us that bring like 100. We have 115 years experience between the 4 of us.
Wow.
In this arena.
Terrific.
And Brett, he's obviously a contributor to that. And then I have Jim Sawyer. Jim's been with me a long time here at the college. And he's around the 18-year mark now with me here at Cowley. And ironically enough, and I've known Jim for a long time. And Jim he was my supervisor at our previous employment.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was the sergeant, he was my lieutenant, and so we've kind of flipped roles here. And
so
that's been interesting. But Jim's a great guy. He's been around a long time. I've got John Tyler. He's another, kind of like myself. I get a lot of the exposure just because I'm here like when other people are, you know what I mean? So a lot of people have learned to know me over the years because I'm that daytime guy, right? Well, John is also here a lot when people are still here of an evening, and so... but John Tyler has been with me for 9 years now.
Boy.
And then I have my other 2 officers are the guys that work overnight shifts, like throughout the week and the weekends primarily. I've got Chase Poovey. Chase works the 3rd shift, kind of a Sunday through Thursday, overnight. And so he doesn't get the exposure. I mean, that people see him as much, but they both him and Jeremiah Bramer, they both play a critical role in, fulfilling the 24/7, being here for our community, our students primarily, in those hours, our dorms, our residences.
It's nice to know that we have them available.
We have those guys to fill that gap, and they serve a very important role in the process, and they very resilient, very, resourceful guys. I mean, they don't have a lot of resources available to them at, 2 a.m. if you're dealing with something, so, for me to call somebody and get help, it's much easier for me than it is for those guys. I mean, they work solo and have to, critical thinking is important for them, so, but they do a great job. Jeremiah Bramer and Chase Poovey, both of them. So
terrific.
They're the newest guys in the department, but they're not the least known just because of that. It's their shifts, and but they do a lot of extra. I mean, both of them guys, all of my guys, really. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Brett, John, Jim, Chase, Jeremiah. If we need additional coverage, and we're small enough that if Chase needs a day off, somebody, one of us picks up the slack, has to fill in, and so. It makes it. I mean, I've been blessed in the fact that it's like when we need something, one of my guys is going to step up. I mean, somebody will take that and fulfill the duty, and it's just it's been great collectively. We find a way.
Well,
so
we appreciate all that you and your department do for Cowley. So, outside of this, you also are, back whenever I was doing the PR side of things, and we would talk about this yearly, you would do the motorcycle safety training. So
yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit how long you've been doing that? And do you ride? Do you have a bike of your own?
So currently, right now, I do not own a motorcycle.
You must have at one time, I assume.
Oh, yeah. I'm an avid rider. I've been riding for 25 plus years. I love motorcycling. I had the opportunity to, I was asked, back 2009 was the first year that we started, that we had offered the training. Prior to that, the administration had asked if I'd be interested in doing that. We're kind of in a gap here. I mean, like Oklahoma City and Wichita were the closest options that people had to go get that training,
Okay.
and so we kind of filled a void here, by offering it in this midpoint, and doing safety and being an avid motorcyclist, it was just a great opportunity, I thought. And so, got the training, got the certification, jumped through all the hoops, to get state approved, that kind of stuff. I mean, there was a lot of the upfront work that we did, but this is actually our 18th season of doing the offering the motorcycle training as a community service. And
So you're still doing that then?
it's still going.
Okay.
I have actually stepped down as far as I'm not our weekend guy anymore. Like, I'm not the instructor that's there Friday night, Saturday, Sunday doing the work there. Actually, last year I stepped down from that role per se.
Okay.
And we've hired he's a former, Cowley alum here, and former student of the program himself. He took this class with me as a student. So he's come in to fill that role. I mean, I still oversee the program. They've labeled me as the coordinator for that program now.
All right.
And so, I still oversee it. I handle all the registrations. I do everything for the program except teach the class on the weekends. I just package it up. He's got everything ready for him, and he comes in and delivers, so.
Well, I'm glad to hear that's still going on.
Yes, sir.
Married, children. Tell us a little bit about.
Yep, I am happily married. We've got we still have 2 at home.
Okay.
I've got two that have flown the coop, to this point, and so my oldest son, he is adopted, and I've had him the longest of any of my children. Has been with me longer, but he graduated from Winfield. He attended Cowley, graduated here, and then I've got one living in Wichita as well. My oldest biological, he's up there. He's doing good things. He's working with a company. They're like 2 manufacturers in the world. They build custom coolers, like the freezers walk in, the big.
Nice. Yeah.
So he's doing things there on his own, and back to school as well. So he's getting like trade certifications, for HVAC, electrical.
Good.
I've got a junior. I've got a boy that'll be a junior this starting year, and then my baby she's the only girl I have. She will be a 4th grade. So, but kind of like my family, we've got quite. I mean, with me and my brothers and sisters, there is a spread amongst the ages in my children as well. So,
well, you mentioned you do some youth coaching. Tell us a little bit about what sports you've been coaching.
I have coached. I've coached about everything. I mean, I coach sports that I'm not even. Like I never played. I mean,
I've been there, done that. Like,
not near familiar with.
Didn't really know a lot about the actual technical stuff of it, but
I played soccer when I was young, but I've coached soccer for many years, and indoor and outdoor. I never played organized basketball. I mean, like for a rec or the school, myself, but I've coached basketball for a number of years.
Excellent.
Football, of course, I've coached a lot of football over my years. Baseball. My daughter, of course, she's into softball, and so I'm still coaching softball. I mean, I can coach every aspect of it except the pitching, and so I've recruited Jenny for some help with pitching to show me how to do it and show the girls, and so my girl's been doing lessons with Jenny, and it's been good in that arena. I'm coaching volleyball. I mean, I've coached wrestling. I've coached about every sport there is at the youth level. You know what I mean? But and it's been fun over the years. I mean, I enjoy it, and I've been able to. I'm very family orientated. It's
Sure.
Family is everything to me, and so we do a lot of time together, period,
great.
So
Love that, Matt. I think that's awesome that you've been able to be so involved with your kids and be able to coach them and their activities.
It was different when those kids enter middle school, high school, and they start you're not going to coach them anymore, and you kind of take that sideline role. That was challenging to swallow in the beginning.
I've been there. But, I know it's different, isn't it? I miss that aspect.
My youngest 3 or 6 years apart, so I've been blessed in the sense that as my son went into middle school, and started getting coaching elsewhere. Well, now my daughter's at the age where she's coming into sports. And so,
Great.
I just, it's been a revolving door for me, for the last, 15, 18 years, but, yeah. So after her, I don't have any others coming into it. So that'll be do I go back and just coach others, at that point or what?
I know. That's what I was approached afterwards was, hey, I know your kids are done, but do you want to still coach some other ones? So, pets. Do you have any pets at the home?
We do. We live in the country, and we've had a number of pets over the years. Currently, we just have a lab. We have a dog, and we've got like 33 chickens as well that they rule the backyard, and
Great.
But yeah, that's a win. I mean, my daughter is a chicken whisperer, is what I call her. She loves her birds.
Yeah.
And she holds them. They ride around in her little Jeep. I mean, they do everything with her. But
any of them show chickens?
No,
okay.
No.
We have a great life out in the country.
Yep, we have quite a variety. They've got a huge building. I mean, like they're living life pretty good.
Awesome.
It's heated in the wintertime. I mean, they've got it pretty good. But in return, we collect those eggs every day, and so it's a fair trade, I think, in the long run.
For sure.
So
terrific. You and I have talked about this. I know you're a Sooner fan. I wish Coach Day was here for us to talk a little bit about how did you become a Sooner fan?
Well, to be honest with you, my wife's family, growing up, I was not as much into college sports when I was young. I seen the big picture. I mean, it was always, whether it was the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever. Like, I skipped that level. I overlooked college, and I always looked towards the big picture.
Sports,
And so I followed those a lot when I was younger. And as I grew up and got more, I don't know. I mean, learned more about that, I guess. Like college is where it's at. Like and now you couldn't convince me otherwise, and I don't almost any sport. I mean, college is where it's at, So, I'm not a huge proponent of the NIL and all the different things that are going on now. But I used to love the college sports because people were playing for the love of the game. Still, they were still competing and trying to make a name.
The uniform, the school, I know the coach that you're playing
the loyalty,
for, all those
to the team, to your coach, to your school. It's very seldom that you see a 4-year kid anymore. I mean, those are kind of a a rarity.
Sure. I mean, just to use KU as an example. I mean, if you got a chance to go play for Bill Self 10 years ago, like those kids are just can't wait to play for him and spend 4 years there and hopefully get better each year. And now it's if you have a really good first year there at KU or whatever school you're at, everybody's come calling to see who the highest bidder you're going to go to. So,
and even if you didn't have a great year, like maybe there's a lesser school that'll give you the opportunity that you're not getting there, and there's just no loyalty. I mean, they don't want to work for it as I don't want to say, and they're still putting in work. Don't be wrong. I mean, like they're doing things, but. They were still competing, for that chance at the big time one day, and so there's half of these, I mean, I say half, I don't know what the statistics are numbers wise, but there's a lot of them that have already made it even at the college level. They don't need to prove anything else or do anything more, and so.
There's guys making so much money right now at the college level that they're going to take a pay cut to go into the professional side of things.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
So it's been, somewhat, but I still my love is for the college level, and my wife's family, are big OU fans. I mean, OU games, and it doesn't matter what OU. I mean, it's not that we just follow OU football
or
OU.
I've talked softball with you, all that.
Baseball this year was a great run. I mean, like it's OU sports in general. I mean, we watch everything OU, and so her family's in it. Of course, her and I have been together for a lot of years, and. It was initially maybe me just not wanting to buck the system per se, being a Kansas guy. And, and I never was necessarily a KU or a K-State guy. Growing up, if Nebraska was always a team back in the mid-90s,
and it would be OU versus Nebraska.
As a lineman, as I was in football, like Nebraska was my team. I mean, like
I can imagine.
I was never really a Huskers fan, but I idolized, what they had going for them.
Tom Osborne and the program he had,
it was amazing, and they produced linemen like no other team at that time.
Just a bunch of country guys that looked like out there too, weren't they?
And they were fast, big. It was just they were it, and so. But yeah, OU and I am football is my main love. I mean, that is my main sport that I enjoy the most. And so, you know, football is such a rich, has such a rich tradition with football, particularly. And, but again, I watch all OU, but I do love OU football.
Oh, yeah. I know you and I both. We're going to be excited. Get the season starting up here in just about a month.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, we're 4 or 5 weeks out, something. I mean,
can't come soon enough, can it?
It's around the corner.
I know Chris is shaking his head over there, too. He's ready for some football, so we all are. Well, Matt, as far as when you do have some downtime, I know that you're very busy with your duties you have here, but do you have some hobbies or things you like to do whenever you have some time to yourself?
Yeah, I laughed when I seen that question. I bet. Free time, what is that?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's again, family time is there. I mean, like we, making the memories and doing things with my kids. One of the goals I had as a parent was, I want to make it. And not that I had it bad by any means, but I want to make life better for my children, better than I had, the opportunities I had, I want them to have those and then some, things like that. And so, family trips are a big thing for us. We love taking, family trips. We outdoors, I mean, like hunting, fishing, those are the things that I remember most as a kid, a lot of those adventures. I make those memories with the kids, we go camping, we own a boat, whatever it is, we travel, we do a lot of things there, but, hunting and fishing is what I like to do a lot. I haven't been doing much of it here recently. It's all work, whether it's here at home, but, doing some renovation and stuff there at the house. And so I've been,
that'll take up some time.
If I'm not working, I'm building, but, you just being there, nightly, like I don't, if it's a rarity that you see me without, my wife and my kids, it's just it's an anomaly if that happens, for the most part.
That's a great thing. I'm glad that you're so family oriented and that you enjoy having that family time.
I've already got 2 that have left home, and so I know the interactions that are, less interactions, and it's not that you don't see them or talk to them, but it's just things aren't the same, and so I've got the 2 that are still there right now, and I'm going to ride that wave as long as I can, so.
Do it. Okay, Matt, this has been awful fun, but seeing at the time it is now, I think we're going to have to kind of wind things down. So I'll ask you 2 final questions. Music interests. If you're just driving down the road and it's just yourself in the car and you get the radio to yourself, you don't have the kids pulling at it, what would you be putting on?
I've got my Spotify so confused, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It never knows what to play for me if I just choose, playlist. Like I listen to R&B, I listen to hip hop, I listen to country music, country rap. I mean, there's so many genres. I mean, like so many different crops, that are going on. I listen to rock. I'm not heavy anything. I mean, like I don't like heavy rock. I don't like, like heavy rap. But I like everything. I mean, like
very eclectic. Then that's awesome. That's how my playlist is too. It'll, buddies would be laughing about that. They'll say, hey, put on something playing a 90s, rock song. Next thing you know, it's playing some rap. The next thing you know, it's playing a country song, and it doesn't know which way it's going. But that's just how
may
I am
play
as well.
Big X the Plug, and then Blake Shelton is the next song. I mean, it is all over the place. So.
Right. Well, what about TV wise? Any interest there, television wise?
Honestly, no. We don't watch. We just don't watch much TV at all. I mean. We don't have cable. We stream if we do anything, and those are very.
Do you remember the last movie you might have gone to? Has it been a while since you've been to
No,
movies?
as far as movies, we do enjoy going, and we live just down the road from the theater. It's not very far from us, and
nice.
so that is nice. But most of the time, I think the last movie that we went to, I don't know if it wasn't Anaconda. It was newer than that. I mean, we frequent the movies, probably, I don't say maybe once a month, but my kids enjoy it so much. And most of the movies that we do, I don't mind a thriller or, my wife can't handle anything she doesn't like jump scares. She doesn't like anything,
right.
horror or any type of stuff like that. And so those are always off limits. And of course with my, especially my daughter, younger kids, they're always, more family orientated type movies that we go to. And every now and then I'll let my wife and daughter, they'll go watch the family orientated. My son is 16. Him and I may go watch,
something else, a little
phone booth too. I think, him and I watched it. They watched something else that day. And so it just, we sometimes branch into our own, but it's, that's about the only screen time, really. Other than getting my kids off of the screens, the phones or whatever. Sometimes that's problematic, but
Yeah. Well, our man behind the scenes, Chris Ripley, he's a big movie guy. You haven't seen The Odyssey yet, have you? Okay, that's one I've been hearing a lot of good things about. So
Right.
I almost went and saw that by myself on Sunday. The family wasn't into it, but I didn't pull the trigger on that one. But I'd like to probably see that one.
Sunday they were busy. I don't know.
Yeah, was it?
Theater was busy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, it's come to that point in the show where it's that time for the joke of the day, Matt.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I guess.
This kind of goes along the lines of your role in public safety and law enforcement. So I thought I'd let you know this, but so I heard someone swiped the wheels off of all the police cars here in town, and the police are looking tirelessly for the perpetrator. Yeah, just thought I'd let you know that, Matt.
I'll check mine when I get back.
Well, folks, now it's time for the upcoming events at Cowley. And Matt, as I do, the students are going to be trickling back on campus. We got student athletes that are back now coming in each day.
Looking forward to it for sure.
Then all the students, I think, come back fall semester on Tuesday, August 16th. Is that right?
Saturday the 15th is dorm
so
storm.
Tuesday, the August 18th is
fall
first
semester. Day of classes. Yes.
Terrific. We got soccer teams hosting the scrimmage versus the Show on Wednesday, August 12th at 3 and 5. So come on out, catch some soccer that day. It's free to get out there. And also volleyball will conduct their orange and black scrimmage on Friday, August 14th at 6:30 p.m. Matt had mentioned it. Dorm Storm's coming up, the move-in day. That's going to take place Saturday, August 15th. Volleyball pancake feed will take place Saturday, August 15th from 7 to 11 at Central Christian Church. And then if you bring your Cali ID, you can swim for free at Paris Park Pool in Arc City from 1 to 7 on Sunday, August 16th. So a lot of fun back-to-school activities. We had Peyton on here last week talking about a lot of things that are coming up. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I like it when the campus is back and going again. It just makes it feel like we're back to being a campus again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Summertime has projects. Summertime is not dull.
No.
But it's just a different kind of work. And so I'm ready. We're ready to see them back and get things rolling. Have a great year.
Good. Me as well. Well, and I want to thank you again, Matt, for all you do around here to make us all feel safe as a campus. And, you do a great job. And I know you're someone, as you say, I'm one of those people that has your phone number. So we won't give that out on air, but I appreciate you letting me bother you or hit you up anytime I have something that I need your help with. So.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you. So for our guest today, Matt Stone, I'd like to thank him very much. I'd like to thank Chris Ripley, as always, for bringing this podcast to you. And I'm Rama Peroo. We'll catch you again next Tuesday on the Behind the Stripes podcast.